a series of various episodes of real life things that have happened to people that are true crime, mostly true crime related. There's some UFO stuff. There's just like, in general, it's just unexplained mysteries that have not been solved. So yes, without further ado, let's get into it because I have a few suggestions of my top episodes that I've ever watched. Number 1, Mystery on the Rooftop. The explanation on Netflix says, after rushing from his home, Ray Rivera disappears. Days later, his car is found, and a strange sight at a historic hotel triggers a baffling mystery. interviews, the music, everything is done so well that even if you knew everything that you were about to watch, it would still be super interesting. So I highly recommend this one. Really, just like, I couldn't stop thinking about this one because I'm like, how does somebody just literally have no identity and like so little contact, I guess, with other people that no one can find out who she is? Zero connection, zero DNA matches, and things like that. So it's very, very interesting, and another Reddit rabbit hole sender. So if you have not seen this one, highly recommend. Still in season 2, this is episode 5, and this is Lady in the Lake. On an icy night, police find Joanne Romaine's abandoned car and assume she drowned in a nearby lake by suicide, but her family suspects foul play. This was a really good episode. A lot of her family participate. Her daughters are in the documentary as well, and it really just shows you that the way that the police tried to make it seem like this was an actual, like, the way that the police tried to reduce it down to something that could be explained so simply, it just didn't make any sense, and her daughters and her family didn't let it go. Like, they were like, no, there's more to this. There's no way that my mom just got out of her car and walked over into the lake and unalived herself. Like, no, that did not happen. Start going through the evidence and potential things that could have happened, who could have potentially been involved, and again, there's never really been an answer. At least I haven't checked, as of today, but at the time that this was filmed, there were no answers. It was a complete mystery, and the family members, of course, have their suspicions, and their intuition might tell them that so and so might have done something, or this thing might have been involved, but there's no real closure as to what exactly concrete happened to this woman. So yeah, very, very good episode, Lady in the Lake. Okay, so this one I believe is in season 3. This is episode 3 of season 3, and it's called Body in Bags. A beloved father is brutally mutilated, but his presumed killer, a woman he knew from high school, escapes without a trace. That episode, when I first watched it, it was really sad because this guy had a son, and the son took part in the documentary, and he had different family members, and it was just helpful to have the family's perspective because they know that person best, they know the man best, and they were explaining all the events that led up to it, who the woman was that he was with, this friend from high school. And then what's even crazier is that when you get to the end and you find out what happened and how all the arrows are kind of pointing to one person, and the fact that she successfully has not been found. Again, take what I'm saying about the current updates with a grain of salt. Like, I need to verify if she's been found, but last I checked, she had not been, which is just absolutely terrifying that people like that have not been caught, because they are a danger to society and a threat to society. So yeah, this one was so sad. Very good episode though, in terms of the way that it was portrayed, and the interviews with the family, the way that they explained the timeline, the evidence of the case. It was a very well done episode for Unsolved Mysteries, so highly recommend. Okay, so this one, I believe we're going into season 4, I want to say. This is episode 2 in season 4, Body in the Basement. Amanda and Denise's husband finds her body in their basement with blood everywhere. The scene confounds police. Was it foul play or a tragic accident? This one is insane. I remember I called my friend Andrea about this one too, and we were like, what the heck could have possibly happened? And the police end up, I think that the official police investigation results, or their final say, was that it was an accident. What ended up happening was her husband came home to find this crazy, insane, tragic scene in the basement, but there's very little explanation as to why there was so much blood, how that happened, who was there, was there anybody that was involved, was it just a crazy accident? But I promise recommend watching the entire series from start to finish. But in terms of ones that really just spent my mind and had me thinking for days, these were the ones that I mentioned in this video, and I cannot wait for their next season to come out. I don't know if they have another one planned. I don't know what's going on. For my sake, I hope they do, because I keep running out of stuff to watch. So yeah, if you are an Unsolved Mysteries lover like I am, please comment down below if you've seen any of these, what your thoughts are, and if there's any of your favorites that I did not mention in this video, I would love to hear. And also, if you want to go watch these episodes, message me